toad, dude. Look how fat that thing is. Whew.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to fill you in on my first tournament and how it went. It's been a few days since we've had to endure the cold weather. It ended up being it is an okay tournament for me. I didn't really know what to expect going into it. The weather going into the tournament, it was fairly decent for spring. And then a few days prior, we had a cold front move through and a low pressure system, and it kind of stayed put. And it just basically, it was just pretty chilly. The day of the tournament, we had winds, sustained winds around 20 mile an hour, and I think the gusts were even higher than that. So I want to do just a quick little recap video of how my tournament went and what I did and what I didn't do, and kind of show you what I did. So starting off the morning, I think I was boat 13 going out, and my main game plan was to focus on areas by like channel swings that were still kind of close to the bank. And so my first spot, I got there, and first few cast in, I'm throwing a chatterbait, and I'll show you what I was using here in a second. But so I was throwing a chatterbait kind of long, and I was kind of reeling it across a fallen limb, and sure enough, I got bit pretty early, and it was a little under 2 pounds, but it was a keeper. So that kind of thought me like, okay, so I kind of put my mind at ease. And I kind of tried to follow that pattern, a few other spots that I hit first thing, and it didn't really pan out. And, so it was about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half later, I ended up coming across a stretch of bank that had a lot of submerged grass clumps in it, and you couldn't really tell it was there unless you just happened to hit it with your lure. And I could see it on my 360, and I'll show you a little clip of that here in a second. But so basically I was just targeting these isolated weed clumps and just ripping a chatterbait and a spinnerbait through it, and it seemed to be generating strikes for me. Like I said, I ended up catching quite a few fish. I don't have a lot of footage of it because of the weather, but I'll cut in when I can here, when I have available. Like I said, I was getting a pretty good bite going, and I just didn't run across any bigger fish. I caught a lot that were just right around that 2 pound mark. And I don't know if I had found some other grass areas similar to what I was fishing, maybe closer to some deeper water, maybe I could have gotten a few other bigger bites. Ended up the tournament 10 pounds 11 ounces, and to get into the money I needed 13 and a half or something like that. So I was just two really good bites away from getting into the money, and all the weights were pretty even except for the top couple. There's always a few people that learn how they can just figure them out and catch them good. So, all in all, it was a pretty good tournament for me. I don't have a lot of good history on this lake, and for one, I just haven't fished it a lot, and there's no excuse. I just kind of treated the tournament as a whole new day, and I just did a lot of studying on the lake map and found areas that I thought that would hold fish and areas that I've never fished before. And I did end up catching a pretty good number of fish, just a bunch of small ones. But I did upgrade throughout the day by just a few ounces here and there. And so what I was throwing, this is spinnerbait. This is kind of what I was using. I'm not sure what even brand of spinnerbait this is, to be honest. I think it's a Missile Baits trailer. It's kind of like a white with kind of a smoke purple, and then a chartreuse and white trailer. And my other main bait is just a white chatterbait. I'm not even sure what kind of trailer that is, but I think it's a Strike King. But at any rate, so those are the two baits I was using, and like I said, I was just ripping it through grass, and then it was just generating a strike. I know some other guys were getting a good jig bite going, but it just didn't really pan out for me. Maybe that's where the bigger fish came from. Guys using some jigs and stuff. But like I said, I tried to fish some offshore spots, some offshore humps that I knew would hold fish, but by the time that I got to a few of these spots, the wind had already picked up quite a bit, and even with spot lock, that wasn't the problem. I mean, I was holding in place, but it's just really difficult to fish when you got that kind of wind. It's hard to feel a bite. It's hard to really feel what your lure's doing. It's hard to feel that bottom. So I kind of gave up doing that and just kind of went back to the grass. And you know, I had a good tournament all in all. I don't think I would have done anything different. Looking back, yeah, I think I would have done the same thing. And we just didn't come across any bigger quality fish, and it is what it is. Well, looking forward to getting out to the next one. We've got a few more weeks yet before the next tournament. Thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to do a quick little recap of how my day went and kind of what I was focusing on. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.